Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Warren County Republican Committee mass meeting for 2020 to get Trump elected, Ben Klein, and we've got two conventions. I'm excited to see everybody here tonight, to be back involved in the Republican Committee. Tonight is a little, I don't know, I don't have butterflies, but I feel like a weight is lifted off. I'm not going to be chairman anymore after this evening. It's been a pleasure serving you. I've been vice chair for 4 years, chairman for 4 years, and I'm moving on. I'm actually going to be running for State Central Committee at the 6th District Convention this year. Still has a lot of responsibility, but I'm ready to go to the state committee and try to do some of the things that we've done here in Warren County to make this a better committee. Let's start off with an invocation by Bill Hammock. Everyone stand, please.
Heavenly Father, we come to you humbly ask your blessings on this group, on this whole process, that we follow your guidance forever. And as we say, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Thank you, Colonel. I'm going to have Chuck Smith lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
You want to face the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, I'm going to have John Smith come up and read the Republican Creed.
That free enterprise system is the most productive supplier of human needs and economic justice, that all individuals are entitled to equal rights, justice, and opportunities, and should assume their responsibilities as citizens in a free society. That physical responsibility and budgetary restraints must be exercised at all levels of government. That the federal government must preserve indivisible liberty by observing constitutional limitations. That peace is best preserved through a strong national defense. The faith in God, as recognized by our founding fathers, is essential to the moral fiber of the nation.
At this time, I'm going to appoint Matt Tiedrick, parliamentarian, Sergeant at Arms. I'm going to have Sam Hahn and Paul Aldrich, Sergeant at Arms. Okay, we do have some guest speakers here tonight, so as we go through the process of getting committee reports, we will be calling up speakers. Generally, I'm going to leave around 3 minutes to speak. I think I kind of told most of you all that anyway. We will have a timekeeper that I'll appoint later in the meeting. Okay, at this point, we're going to read the mass meeting call. Do we hear a motion to dispense with the reading of the call?
So moved.
Amber first, second.
Charles Miller.
Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very well, we won't have to read that. It'll probably take at least 15 minutes. Love it. Okay, report of the Credentials Committee. Amber, do we have a motion to accept the mass meeting, the people that signed up as they came in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all in favor of accepting the Credential Committee's report? How many people do we have, Amber? Just
That's their total.
total people that signed in for the mass meeting. Okay, we have 43 people that have signed up for the mass meeting tonight. Ms. Morris has made a motion. All those this does not need a second because it comes out of committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to open the floor for a nomination of the temporary chairman for the mass meeting. Do I hear any motions for nominations, chairman of the mass meeting, temporary chair?
I would like to make a motion that Steve Kurtz is the temporary chairman for the mass meeting.
All right, do I have any seconds?
Second.
Second.
Okay, second. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, closing nominations. Do I hear a motion to close nominations?
Make a motion, please.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of closing nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, hearing no other nominations for temporary chairman, I'm going to take over the rest of the meeting for you. Thank you very much. It'll be my last service. And my first mass meeting I've ever ran. But I've seen plenty of them run. Okay, I'm going to, do I hear a motion to nominate a temporary, let's see, we already appointed Matt, I'm going to appoint Mark Woodward as timekeeper.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Marilyn as the temporary treasurer.
Okay, we have a motion to have Marilyn King as temporary secretary. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Marilyn is now the temporary secretary. Okay, now, is there anybody here that wants to join the committee that did not fill out an application? I did open, I left membership open until the end of the meeting. I did it a little different. I did mention that somebody had mentioned me, isn't it, at 7 o'clock at the end? No, if somebody walks in, we're still going to take members while this meeting's going on. We had that issue at another mass meeting, and I wanted to resolve it to make sure we didn't have those issues. If nobody else has, we'll move on to the next. Okay. Let's see. At this time, we're going to have all the committees meet. Amber is Credentials Chair. We have Vicki Cook as Nominations Committee Chair, and we have John Smith as Rules Committee Chair. I'm going to ask all the committees to go ahead and meet now to finalize their reports on the delegate forms and memberships and amounts taken. I'm going to ask John Smith to come up and do read the rules as the Rules Committee Chair. John? I'm sorry, it's so small writing.
Yeah, I know. This mass meeting shall be the extent applicable by, governed by, and conducted in accordance with the following giving precedents as listed. The state party plan warned county Republican committee bylaws, these rules and otherwise in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised 11th edition. The mass meeting chair shall have the power to appoint committees, officers, and officials. Each speaker on any motion or amendment shall be limited to 1 minute. One person may speak twice to the same motion or amendment unless no other person on the same side of the motion wishes to speak, and there remains time for the advocates of speakers' positions. Debate shall be limited to 5 minutes for each side. Any person may attend the mass meeting by only eligible voters duly registered by the Credentials Committee may have the floor unless specially recognized by the chair. Only eligible voters duly registered by the Credentials Committee may vote. No proxies are allowed at any time. All voters shall meet the requirements as specified in the call of the mass meeting. A roll call shall be taken at the request of majority of the total mass meeting votes as certified by the Credentials Committee. The chair shall decide the method of voting for questions for nominations before the mass meeting. The Credentials Committee shall report on proper credentials of each voter and decide any question that may arise concerning eligibility to participate. No one will be allowed on the mass meeting floor without proper credentials displayed. Upon adoption of these rules, the temporary officers and officials of the mass meeting shall be made permanent. Elections shall require a majority of the total mass meeting vote as certified by the Credentials Committee. There shall be no cumulative votings. No voter may change his or her vote after it has been collected by the chair or a teller appointed by the chair. No resolution may be present from the floor. The order of business shall be as set forth below, provided, however, the chair of the mass meeting may interpret the order as he or she may deem appropriate. Call to order, invocation, pledge allegiance, election of mass meeting temporary chairman, reading of the call, election of mass meeting temporary secretary, credentials, committee report, total qualified mass meeting voters, appointment of officers and officials, credentials, committee report, rules, committee report, nomination, committee report, number of pre-filed delegates and alternate delegates for the 6th Congressional District of the Republican Party of Virginia. Nominations committee report, pre-filed candidates for Warren County Republican Committee Chair, nomination committee report, members for the Warren County Republican, and adjournment.
Thank you. The Rules Committee Chair has made a motion to accept the rules. This does not need a second. All in favor of accepting the rules as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We have our rules for a mass meeting. All of our temporary officers have now become permanent. We are going to move on with some speakers as the committee report. The committees put together their reports. At this time, I'm going to call Chuck Smith up to speak for us. He's been here before. Welcome, Chuck.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chuck Smith, and I'm a candidate for Attorney General in 2021. Let me tell you that when you think about qualifications for Attorney General, you may want to consider a former Marine who enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1970 at the height of the Vietnam War when nearly everyone else was running away. You may remember the story. Mothers, fathers, no one wanted to be drafted. Mothers, fathers falling on their knees, praying to God and country, please don't draft my son. Sons going north into Canada, dodging the draft, south into Mexico. Bill Clinton and others went east into Europe. I went straight to Paris Island, South Carolina. That's the type of courage that we need in an Attorney General, a fighter, someone who won't cave from aisle to aisle, but who will stand up for our rights, stand up for Virginians. When you think about an Attorney General, you may want to consider a former Navy JAG commander, retired after 26 years of combined military service, active, inactive, and reserve. Someone who represented officers, enlisted, commands, who served as a prosecutor, a special assistant United States attorney, and command services attorney. When you think about an Attorney General, you may want to consider the former chairman of the largest Republican Party city committee in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And when I was chairman, we held each of the 7 allocated General Assembly seats. We held the 21st, the 82nd, 83rd, 84th, 85th. We even held the 7th and 8th senatorial seats. We held the 2nd District Congressional seat all at the same time. Now, I could stop right there and let my opponents try to catch up to that. But on second thought, you know, you can't catch up to a lifetime of experience in one speech, 2 or 3 speeches, or even a year of speeches. So when you think about an Attorney General, I want you to consider someone who's practiced law for more than 40 years. Let me put that in perspective. 40 years, that's longer than anyone who's ever run for the office of Attorney General in the 500-year history of Virginia. And you can bet your bottom dollar it'll be longer than anyone running in the Attorney General's race this cycle. Let me go further and say, if by chance we should get several people in this race and you're thinking about an Attorney General, consider this possibility, that I will have practiced law longer than everyone entering that race, depending on when they come in and how long they stay. Everyone entering that race combined, put together. I know that's confidence, but that's experience. When you think about an Attorney General, I want you to think about someone who, in addition to federal law, state law, Virginia law, Iowa law, military law, criminal law, someone who's practiced the hottest single-button political issue in Virginia today, immigration. Someone who will not need a Democrat to stand on his toes and explain the difference or the benefits of illegal immigration of sanctuary cities in Virginia. When you think about an Attorney General, I want you to think about perhaps someone who's bilingual, someone who's fluent in the language of the 2nd largest and fastest growing minority in Virginia, Spanish. Someone who won't need translation services to communicate with the voting members of that community on the benefits of voting Republican and talking to them about someone named Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. When you think about an Attorney General, please think about someone who is a Republican candidate but will support the Republican nominee of for President of the United States of Virginia, someone who did in 2016 and who will also do it again in 2017, 18, 19, every year that he's president. No administration in the history of Virginia has done as much in their entire term than President Donald Trump has done in the period of time he served in, so far, 2 years of his administration. More than 400,000 manufacturing jobs created. Manufacturing jobs growing at the fastest rate ever, where African American, Asian, Hispanic American unemployment is the lowest it has ever been, where veterans, women, and youth unemployment is the lowest it has ever been in decades. An administration that has brought more jobs and more fact-checking experience to this country than any other president in the history of the United States. 39.2% of Americans have been lifted off of food stamps. An administration who has done more in but 2 years than most presidents have done, not just in their 4-year term, but those who have been reelected for 8 years. When you think about an Attorney General, I want you to think about someone who is knowledgeable, someone who's articulate, someone who's bilingual, charismatic, dynamic, energetic, good-looking, inspirational, intelligent. When I say good-looking, a role model for Virginians. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to go forward, not backwards. I'm running for Attorney General of Virginia, and I want you to think about Chuck Smith. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate that. Next speaker we have is John Massoud.
Dear friends and fellow Republicans, thank you. I'm going to repeat some words. Some of you may have heard them before, but I think it's important that everybody knows this. I'm going to do something that no person from this party has ever done. As the Vice Chairman of the 6th Congressional District Republican Party, I'm actually here to apologize to you on behalf of the party for our disastrous showing in the 2019 elections. I want to ask each and every one of you, when you think of the Republican Party, what does it stand for? What should it stand for? Anybody?
Small Constitution.
Thank you. What do we stand for as a party? We don't know anymore because we have lost our way. We have lost our way in Richmond, and we have lost our way across the districts and across the entire state of Virginia. We used to be a party that stood for life, liberty, and limited government. Now, our party, the party of Ronald Reagan, the party that freed the slaves, has become the party that helped extend Medicaid and that has helped to pass bad gun laws in the state of Virginia. And this has to stop. We used to be the party of tax cuts and family values. We're becoming the party that funds abortion. We can't have that. So in the words of Ronald Reagan, let us paint in bold colors, no more pale pastels. The job of the chair is many different things. It's not getting your picture taken with politicians. It's running meetings, and it's getting the hard work done that the party needs to do to win. It's teaching precinct operations. Very recently, I had the privilege, along with my good friend Doc Troxel, of writing a book on how to build the proper precinct. I will be giving it to the next chair in just a few minutes. And for us to win again, we're going to have to build up from the precinct level. I'm currently also the Strasburg GOP chair. When we took over that party, we were getting about 60% of the vote, and it was starting to become a Democratic enclave. Thanks to the hard work of myself and my team, we've gotten the number up to 66%. If we took what we did in Strasburg and do it statewide, Donald Trump wins by 3 points. We're winning statewide. It's about us. It's about what we're going to do. Volunteers need to be inspired. Volunteers need to have the proper tools. Volunteers don't need to be harassed and or bullied. You know, some of you had disagreements with me. And you know what? That's fine. I won't sue you. Regarding the Second Amendment movement, as a member of the Strasburg Town Council, I wrote the resolution that passed unanimously. In Newmarket, I wrote the resolution that passed unanimously. And I'm the only person here running who has a shotgun named Hillary. So if that doesn't tell you that I'm pro-gun, nothing else I say will. So I ask for your vote at the convention on May 30th, and together, in the words of Donald Trump, let us make the 6th District great again. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, John. I forgot to mention that he was running for 6th District Chair when I introduced him. Next speaker we have is going to be...
Most people try to forget me anyway.
Yeah. Next speaker we have is Dan Johnson, who's running for presidential elector. Dan?
Good evening. I'm glad to be here. It was a good drive from Roanoke. I did not get hit by the tractor trailers that sandwiched me in. I made it all the way here without spilling my coffee, and then I got out of the car and covered my shirt. That's why I'm wearing this vest now. But it is good to be here. My name is Dan Johnson, and I am running for presidential elector with Jennifer Brown on the Constitutional Conservative ticket. Jennifer could not be here tonight, but I do believe that she and our whole ticket are working very hard to reach out and bring in members of various groups that do not typically vote Republican, but I do believe they would if they just knew what we really stood for. I am the YR representative, or the Young Republican representative to the 6th District, and in that capacity, it's my job to recruit young people, a demographic that does not typically support this party. And right now, they are not just supporting the Democratic Party, but they are supporting Bernie Sanders, who is left of left. And the YRs serve a very important function in our party. We get out and we do a lot of the hard work. We do a lot of door knocking leading up to all of our elections. And this past election cycle here in the 6th District, I focused on Tony Wilt's seat because his district does include the city of Harrisonburg and JMU. So that district is not totally safe. And we went out and door knocked, and we increased Tony's margin of victory despite the blue wave that went across Virginia. And the Young Republicans as an organization did that repeatedly. We had a statewide deployment in Chesterfield, Virginia, over near Richmond, and we were able to not only hold Roxanne Robinson's seat in the House of Delegates, but we increased her margin of victory from 27 votes to 44 votes. But every seat matters, especially as we have lost our majorities in both houses, unfortunately. I'm running because I believe that I have what it takes to help Donald Trump win Virginia in November. I have a proven track record of getting out and helping our candidates run, and I'm willing to do the hard work for Donald Trump because I do think that he has a very strong shot of winning here in Virginia and ending the Democrats' stronghold on statewide elections they've had since 2009. Once again, my name is Dan Johnson, and I ask for your vote on May 30th in Woodstock, and I hope that you will consider voting for all of the candidates on the Constitutional Conservative ticket. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And now we have Dan Cullors, former Rockingham Chair, is running for North Regional Vice Chair of the 6th District Committee. Welcome, Dan.
It's good to be a former
Yes,
chair.
and I'm
I'm
almost there.
You can take a little break now. My name is Dan Cullors. As he said, I've been the chairman of Rockingham County for the past 4 years. Previously, I was secretary and also a precinct captain and district chair within the county. So I've really worked my way up from the bottom to the position that I'm at now. And I feel like those experiences will serve me well in the position of Northern Regional Vice Chairman. What that position does is they provide operational support to the unit chairs that are within the northern part of the district. That's Rockingham, Harrisonburg, Page, Shenandoah, and Warren. And, excuse me. And I can bring those experiences, growing the committee, getting out the vote, registering voters, to try to bring whatever help that they need to each one of those communities. The two things I'd like to do is, one, focus on voter registration. The second is to do something that I haven't seen done very often within the district, which is to have a Northern Region unit chair meeting with the regional vice chair so that we can do two things, which is figure out how we can share resources and share ideas, and also to find out what operational support do they need. I don't want to come into a unit and say, this is what I think you ought to do. I want to say, where can I help you? So I am also running on the Constitutional Conservative ticket. I think we have a good blend of both experience, and also we have some newer, younger folks that are coming into our group, and I think we need some new, fresh ideas and people that can penetrate into new communities within the valley. So I will be at Woodstock on May the 30th, and I would appreciate your vote for Northern Regional Vice Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And now we have Robert Cook running for national elector.
I'm Robert Cook, candidate for presidential elector, and I'm asking for your vote at the district convention in Woodstock on May 30th. Last month when I was in Warren, I spoke about my ideals. that faith is the source of both our rights in the Declaration and our principles in the Republican Creed. So today I'm here to talk about why these ideals are important. Speaking on the Declaration, President Calvin Coolidge said, "A spring will cease to flow if its source be dried up, and a tree will wither if its roots be destroyed." And Reagan once said, "Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction." For the United States to preserve the founders' ideals, we must remain ever vigilant in staying tethered to our roots. And our president has been vigilant. He fought to cut taxes, government regulation, and to protect our borders. He continues to fight Obamacare and has ended the individual man. He defends the American tradition through ideals of faith and freedom. However, as we draw further into this primary season, we see the Democrats going off the rails. Bernie and Biden seek Medicare for all, severe gun restrictions, open access to abortion, and upending the free market. With these policies, Democrats will dry up our spring and wither our roots. Because ideals make governments, we must at the convention and in the general election in November vote from our ideals. And this is why choosing an elector is so important. I ask for your vote because I act on ideals, I embrace the founders' ideals, and I will cast my electoral vote for Donald Trump to preserve those ideals. At the district convention, vote for me, Robert Koch, as your presidential elector to help keep America great through ideals of faith and freedom. Thank you all.
Thank you, Robert. Committee's reports are almost ready. Let's get a couple more speakers out of the way. We have Doc Troxel, all the way from Lynchburg, running for State Central Committee. I believe he was also a chairman of Lynchburg, right, at one time? Yeah, a long time ago, or?
2012 to 2014.
Oh, okay, so you've been out for a while, yeah. You look relaxed.
I feel a whole lot better.
Good to see you.
I talked to the chair that just got elected, offering my condolences on his victory. There are two teams. There's the Jennifer Brown team, there's the John Massoud team. You get to decide who you want to support from each of those teams. A lot of you know me, some of you don't. I taught for 21 years at Liberty University. When I got my PhD at the University of Virginia, my students started calling me Doc. I have people that don't know my first name, but it's Steve Doc Troxel, and I'm running for State Central. You can vote for three of us, which means you can vote for Steve Kurtz, Dean Welty, and me, and nobody will be disappointed. But, Dan, you got your fingers ready? If you want to find out about me, you look on our sheet that says votedoctroxel.com. And if you look on the back of my business card, it says votedoctroxel.com. If you want to find out about me, go to votedoctroxel.com. I came up with that website because 4 years ago when I ran the first time, I went home, told my son I need a website. He said, "What do you want people to do?" I said, "Vote Doc Troxel." He said, .com. So if I say votedoctroxel.com enough, you won't have any problem remembering to go to look at votedoctroxel.com and find out about me. I have been writing a newsletter every week since before I won the election last time. And so I've got over 200 of them there. If you want to find out about me, read my newsletters. There's 200 of them. You'll find out all you want to know. I keep my promises. I try to educate people. Oh, hey, I'm a teacher, I guess. And I go all over the district. It is 2 hours and 45 minutes from my house to here, but I come up here because I represent you no matter where in the district that I live. And I'm going to take the last few seconds of my time to speak for someone who's not here. Ann Fitzgerald is also running for presidential elector, and she's not here because she's troubleshooting. She's doing the same thing she's been doing for 30 years, and that's fixing problems in the Republican Party. There is a unit that is having a mass meeting tomorrow, and they can't use the facility that they were using, and they're trying to figure out how to have their mass meeting because coronavirus. And presidential elector is a thing, it's basically a thank you to people who have been working hard, who have proven themselves, and Ann Fitzgerald has done that. The main reason she wants to do it is so she can take her kids there and let them be part of history when Virginia votes for Donald Trump, and she wants that. And so I would like to recommend Ann Fitzgerald for your consideration for presidential elector. And one other thing, I shake hands a lot. This is antibacterial spray. So you can shake my hand, I've been using it a lot. It's also from Mass Mutual Life Insurance Company, and they want me to use it because they want you to live a long and healthy life too. But anyway, my 3 minutes are up. My name is Steve Doc Troxel. I'm running for State Central. Anybody tell me what my website is? You've been paying attention. Thank you so much. Vote for me. Vote for us.
Thank you, Doc. And now we will have Dean Welty from Harrisonburg?
That's correct.
All the way from Harrisonburg, and he is running for State Central Committee at the 6th District Convention.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good to see you. Oh, okay. I didn't get any Doc spray.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, my name is Dean Welty, running for State Central Committee. I wish I can say amen to almost everything I heard tonight. Really inspiring, encouraging, and I just look forward to the day when we can all work together, not as 2 teams, but as 1 team. Just in unity together. Just a little background for who I am. I don't have all of those illustrious titles for unit chair of this and unit chair of that. And that is a tremendous job, and I just really salute all of you for having done that, for doing that and keeping things in order. My background is pretty simple. I'll just mention 3 general categories. At the national level, at the state level, and at the local level. And here's how that worked. For 26 years, my wife Janet, sitting in the back, serves with the Foreign Service, U.S. Department of State. So over that 26 years, we would go back and forth overseas, back and forth to Washington, D.C., to the headquarters. We came back in 1998 from our last assignment. Right in the middle of the Clinton-Lewinsky affair. And we had this Rip Van Winkle shock. What has happened to our country? What has happened to our culture? And then our first grandson was born, little Sam. I held him in my hands. My wife and I looked at each other and said, we've got to do something. We were going in the wrong direction. So in 2002, we started an organization called the Valley Family Forum. We had moved to Harrisonburg. We loved the Valley. We knew it was a special place. But we had to do something about the misdirection of our culture. We formed the Valley Family Forum, fighting for life, faith, family, and freedom. And we worked specifically with the culture. Within a year of that, we discovered that there were 3 SOBs in Harrisonburg. You don't think that's very many, do you? An SOB, a sexually oriented business. We collected, within a period of 6 weeks, 3,500 petitions to our city council to get rid of the SOBs in Harrisonburg. Along with those 3,500 petitions, we had 40 churches coming in behind us. And within 2 years, the city council had passed a resolution to limit the time, manner, and place of operation for the SOBs. There are no SOBs in Harrisonburg today, and I'm glad for that. But that was the support with everybody in Harrisonburg. They all got behind it. We had a purpose. And then in 2006, you remember the marriage amendment? We got behind our legislators in the General Assembly. Again, we just rallied behind that amendment, and it was passed with 57% of the vote statewide, and a lot of those votes came from the Valley. And so that's my purpose today. That's at the national level, the state level, the local level for our faith, our families, and our freedom. I believe in 4 basic documents that guide me in everything I do, starting with the Bible, the Declaration of Independence that's been mentioned, the U.S. Constitution, and the Virginia Creed. I get behind all of those, and if those can guide me in my thinking, I think I'm on solid ground. That's the attitude I will take to the State Central Committee, trying to be the voice of the Shenandoah Valley at the state level. If you've been paying attention to what's been happening in Richmond, you know that we need to fight harder for those values that we cherish. So again, my name is Dean Welty. I'm a candidate for the State Central Committee, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean. And now we have Jeanne Gannon running for National Committeewoman at the State Convention, which will be in Richmond.
And I turned over my gavel last night.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Jeanne Gannon and I'm running for National Committeewoman. As I just said, I hail from Powhatan County. I turned over my gavel last night. I'm the former chair now of Powhatan County Republican Committee. I served for 2 terms out in Powhatan, and we were fortunate enough to win Best Unit and Best Unit Chair of the Year twice in a row, so we're very excited for that. I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a campaign manager, I'm the president of the Women's Club in Powhatan County, and I'm also professionally, I'm a certified residential real estate appraiser. I hold 2 designations with the Appraisal Institute. So one of the things that I did the day after the election, I realized where we were going with the composition of what was happening down in the House of Delegates. And I saw what was coming as far as the Second Amendment goes. So I worked with the folks in our committee. We crafted a 2A resolution and we brought it before the Powhatan Board of Supervisors, and it passed. And we did this with the blessing too of our sheriff. I attended the 2A rally on the 13th for the NRA and also on the 20th for the VCDL. And when we were down there on the 20th, we collected signatures and addresses for folks to sign up to work on the Trump victory team. So I've been incredibly active in the Republican Party of Virginia for more than a decade now. So I'm running for National Committeewoman. What does that really mean? Well, typically it's a representative position. I would serve on the RNC representing Virginia. We would craft amend bylaws, work on the party platform, also work on convention organization, things like that. But I think that here, right now, we have an opportunity to do something a little bit different with this position. And I believe that with my background and experience, that I could possibly bring some of my skills and experiences to the leadership of the Republican Party of Virginia and to do what we're all meant to do, and that is to win elections. It's my goal to bring a majority back to the House of Delegates, to bring a majority back to the State Senate, and also to win back congressional seats. When I started doing this, we held 9 out of 11 seats. We're down to 4 right now, and that's unacceptable. We need to start winning those seats back. We need to support our President Donald J. Trump to get him reelected and to stop all of the impeachment harassment. So my name is Jeanne Gannon. I'm running for National Committeewoman. I'll hand out my palm cards at the end of the evening. There's something very important, though, on my cards, and that is my phone number. This is my cell number on my card. I'm always available. If I don't pick up, leave me a message, and I will call you back. And if I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you. So if you come out and vote for me on May 2nd at the State Convention, I will work for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanne. We will go ahead and run. We only have, I think, 3 or 4 more speakers left. Let's get a few more done. We have Jan Lowry running for National Delegate at the 6th District Convention. Welcome, Jan.
Thank you. Weeks ago and got to meet a few of you and share with you my palm card that I've created that has the Virginia Creed on the back of it. So if you didn't get one a couple of weeks ago or this evening, I'll have some at the end of the meeting for you to take. Keep them in your hip pocket when you meet a stranger or you start talking about politics. Some people out there don't realize they're a Republican. They don't know who they are. They don't know what the Republican Party stands for. It's in our creed, folks. It says it right there, everything that we believe in. We just have to get the message out, and I'm sure that we can create more voters. I'm running for National Delegate. That's the individual that goes down to Charlotte, North Carolina in August. Big convention, the National Convention. Pretty sure who our presidential nominee is going to be. I don't think he's got any opposition, and I'm sure that it will be just a huge party. but I would be honored to represent the 6th District by voting for Donald Trump in August down at the National Convention. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanne. And now we have Patti Lyman running for National Committee Woman at the state convention. Welcome, Patti.
Thank you, Stephen. Very much. I'm Patti Lyman, and I'm running to be the RNC National Committee Woman representing Virginia. This job, it's a unique job. The Republican National Committee, it's 168 votes on everything that the Republican Party does, from rules to the way we nominate and elect, to policy, to platform, to resolutions. It's an important policy position. It isn't just a check off the box. It's a place to have influence. Our current committee woman, Cynthia Dunbar, is not going to be running again. Cynthia has done significant work in the area of policy and platform issues, drafting complex resolutions, one involving recently religious freedom, condemning the rampant anti-Semitism that's openly all throughout the Democrat Party. Cynthia is an experienced attorney. I am as well. I feel very qualified to be able to step in and handle those things. Morton Blackwell, our very illustrious committeeman, handles the rules issues, and it's a good compliment to him to have a lawyer there that can handle the legal and policy issues involved. It's a policy job. Also, my experience as an attorney, my job is persuasion. My job is advancing an idea or defending a client and getting agreement, getting people to come to the way of thinking of where we want to go. That's extremely important on the Republican National Committee. That's something I have the ability to do on behalf of Virginia. I also would be a member of the State Central Committee dealing with issues going on there. I'm a born and raised Virginian my whole life, educated here. Here's what I'm about. Number one, I support the president 1,000%. I've supported him since the end of 2015, when I could see that he was the only candidate who was not only able, but was willing to do whatever was required to beat Hillary Clinton. And he did it. I'm on his side 1,000%. When I hear official Republicanville, whether they be elected Republicans in Virginia, RPV, or muckety-mucks, when I hear them blame Donald Trump for why they're losing elections, I get enraged. A Republican that cannot defend this president's record in office, his magnificent record in office, the problem is with that Republican and not this president. I'm here to represent the Republicans of Virginia, not the RPD, not elected Republicans, the Republicans of Virginia. I'm retired after 24 years of practicing law, and I plan to, if I'm committee woman, to travel frequently around the state and meet with units and meet with grassroots people. That's where these elections have to be won. My job as committee woman, I'm not a precinct captain, I'm not a grassroots organizer, I'm not a phone banker. All those things are important. I'm there to make sure that the values we believe in stay in place in the Republican platform, our policies go forward. There are going to be people trying to weaken our platform, especially in the next 4 years when the president's not going to be running again. I left a successful business career to become a lawyer. God called me to that just to stop abortion. After that, I became an immigration attorney. I've specialized in representing persecuted Christians escaping Islamic republics. As far as the Second Amendment goes, I've done a lot of thinking about how much we need to compromise in getting that issue resolved. Not 1 inch. Also, just to finish up, in terms of my activism in the Republican Party, I was extremely active campaigning for the president in 2016. I was a surrogate all across the state for Corey Stewart in 2017, and I supported the nominee in that gubernatorial election. I was a surrogate again for Corey most of 2018. I was in charge of credentials for getting our new Fairfax County chairman in place in 2018, taken over from Never Trumpers. And I've continued in that activism. Also, as an immigration lawyer, I've gone to every Republican group that invites me to explain to them why we must stop illegal immigration, or we will be outvoted in perpetuity on every other issue that matters to us as Republicans. So, if you want somebody who is going to stick firm on policy, on practice, and most importantly, make it clear to the National Party that Virginia has always been, is, and will continue to be a red state, please vote for me. I'm not changing my mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Patti. We have, I think, 3 more speakers. We're going to try to blow these out, and then we'll do our nominations report, and then we can adjourn. How's that sound? Okay. And now we have Dean Peterson running for from Page County, running for national delegate at the 6th District Convention. Welcome, Dean.
In 2016, I came back to the party after leaving it in disgust in '94 with the way the RPV treated Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. The swamp was full then, and guess what? The swamp was still there when I got back. In 2016, I led up the effort for Page County for Get Out the Vote, for the RPV, for the Trump campaign, and as well as the Page County unit. And so that the current chairman there was Captain Parker Gokenauer, of which he turned me loose. No restrictions. Me with no restrictions. That's dangerous. But what did it yield? It yielded the greatest voter turnout and the greatest percentage vote for Trump across the 6th Congressional District. That is something to be damn proud of. In 2017, I found myself voting for Bryce Reeves for Lieutenant Governor, and then after he lost his nomination, I find myself as Jill Vogel's 6th District rep for Lieutenant Governor across the 6th, of which this is the first time ever a Lieutenant Governor candidate got more votes than the Governor candidate. I'm proud of that campaign too. I'm also proud of the campaign in 2018, which was the first year I came to Warren County to get out the vote. And in 2018, Corey Stewart, which I was also a surrogate speaker for, asked me if I'd run a regional office for him as a volunteer status where I get in the front row. And I did. And we did great. We did super. 2019, I got a call to come back here again. And I did. And it was tough last year with everything Warren County went through. I want to go represent President Trump on an America First policy as an average person who was energized by a president to get involved again and to speak about that getting involvement, while at the same time exposing the swamp critters for who they are. No volunteer should have to worry about getting sued over a Facebook meme, have their gun rights lost over a Trump meme like Chairwoman Jennifer Brown did to me, of which she was found to be nothing but political discourse by the judge. You can't speak out of one side of your mouth while you're doing something out of the other side of your mouth and not be called out on it. And people here knowing what Jennifer M. Brown had done and yet still decide to run on her ticket makes me question what they know.
Hear, hear.
We have to tell everyone the truth. If we don't, we're doing our own selves a disservice. And no one should ever go through what I've gone through in the last 2 years. My name is Dean Peterson. I'm running for national delegate, and I hope I've earned your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. And now we have Kaylee Segal, all the way from Harrisonburg. She's running for State Central Committee. Welcome, Kaylee.
Well, thank you, everyone. And I'm going to start out by saying, praise the Lord, saints. Because I like to first give glory and honor to my Lord and Savior. Yes, I am a believer in Jesus Christ, and I am not ashamed to proclaim it. Amen. My name is Kaylee Segal, and I am running for State Central Committee. And the reason why I am running is because I am tired of the in-house fighting. Amen. We are wasting our energy amongst ourselves and not enough on the crazies that is taking our rights away. And so I believe in unity. And yes, I know that brothers and sisters, you know, they have biggers and little quivers, but they also stand together. And we're Republicans, right? So we are brothers and sisters. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your background is. We are brothers and sisters. Come on now, I need to hear an amen. Amen. Make me believe that. Are we brothers and sisters? Amen. There you go. So my background is I serve on my local school board, and there's 6 of us, and I'm the only Republican. Yes, and that's scary. Pray for me. And I also do local community events and just trying to get our community together. Also, as far as with the party, I am former chair for the Young Republicans of the Shenandoah Valley YRs. And so I've done a lot of door knocking, a lot of phone calling, yes, a lot. And I love it, and I enjoy it, and I will be so happy to do this for our president, Donald Trump. And I don't care if you call me crazy, but I truly believe that God has placed Donald Trump in the White House chair. I would appreciate your vote if we still having it on May 30th with this virus thing. But I would appreciate it. And again, my name is Kaylee Segal. And by the way, when people ask, why are you running against someone? I say, I'm not running against anyone. I'm running for our rights, for Virginia, for us, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Kaylee. And the last speaker is me.
3 minutes. 3 minutes, Steve.
Only 3?
2.
I am Stephen Kurtz, for those of you that don't know. I'm running for State Central Committee at the 6th District Convention, and I'm also running for National Delegate. My experience is well known. I've been involved in politics since 2008 when Obama got the nomination for the Democratic to be president. I said, no, we can't have a socialist. We've gone over the edge. I've got to get involved. We have to get somebody else. Supported John McCain, wasn't the right guy. Supported Mitt Romney, wasn't the right guy. And thank God for Donald Trump. Yeah. Who's ready to have Donald Trump as your president from 2020 to 2024? So throughout the last 8 years being vice chair and chair of the Warren County Republican Committee, I've had the opportunity to sit on the 6th District Committee. It's been a great experience meeting people like Doc Troxel and all the other chairmen across the 6th District. It's been a great opportunity to do some good. We, as a 6th District Committee, we actually sued the state of Virginia. We sued them because of the Incumbent Protection Act, and we won. The Incumbent Protection Act took away the power of committees like this, committees of the 6th District, the senatorial districts, the legislative districts, were not allowed to choose their nomination methods. But we at the 6th District decided that enough's enough. Let's get rid of this bad law. And we won, and now the committees, all that power is back in the committees, out of the hands of the politicians where it shouldn't have been. They already have enough power. We need to keep what's ours. When I came here to Warren County, it was a Republican county, but it wasn't as Republican as it is now. We only had 58 delegates at a convention. Without any population increase, we've raised that number to 74 delegates. We've done work here. We've gained, and it's not all just because of the hard work here. We've had the candidates like Donald Trump that have helped bring those numbers up. The other thing I want to concentrate on in RPV at the State Central Committee is helping our local committees. It's something that RPV doesn't do enough of. Yeah, they have legal counsel there, and they help us there, but we need help. That's definitely what we need there. Well, let me wrap this up. If you want a candidate that's pro-life, pro-family, pro-Trump, I'm the guy that you need to vote for. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this for your family and mine, so we can live in a free country where our views and rights are preserved and cherished. I want to be your voice on the State Central Committee. So please vote for me, Woodstock, May 30th, at the convention. Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to call up the Nominations Committee Chair, Vicki Cook, to go ahead and give her a report. She's got 4 reports to give. And then we'll be able to get out of here.
So how fast do you want me to read? Super fast.
I didn't write a lot for you to read, so.
Okay, so
We'll do the,
we'll start with the first report, the
Yes.
Republican Party of Virginia 2020 State Convention. So the Nominations Committee having met, certifies the following. There are 74 delegates and an equal number of alternative delegates allowed to attend the state convention. The total number of the pre-filed delegates and alternate delegates are 20. We got 20. The number of individuals unable to certify is 0. The total voluntary fees collected is $315. I move that the 20 names submitted and reported be elected as delegates to the Republican Party of Virginia's 2020 State Convention.
A motion's been made by the Nominations Committee. A second is not required. All those in favor of accepting the nominations report signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next report?
one?
Yes.
Okay. Second report. This is for the 6th District Convention. The Nominations Committee, having met, certifies the following. The total delegates allowed to attend the 6th District Convention are 74 delegates and an equal number of alternative delegates. The total number of the pre-filed delegates and alternative delegates are 59. The number of individuals unable to be certified is 0. The total voluntarily fees collected is $80. I move that of the 59 names recorded and certified be elected as delegates to the 2026 Congressional District Committee of the Republican Party of Virginia's convention.
We have a motion by the Nominations Committee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, on to the next.
Next one?
Yeah.
All right, we're on the third report. So this is the membership to the Warren County Republican Committee. The Nominations Committee having met, certifies the following. Forktown is a maximum allowed of 15, and the total requesting membership is 9. Otterburn, is that pronounced?
Yes, Otterburn.
Okay. Maximum allowed is 35 members. Total representing the membership was 0. Happy Creek, maximum allowed was 27 members. Total requesting membership was 1. Lyndon, maximum allowed of 25 members. Total requesting membership was 2. North River, maximum amount allowed is 19. Total requested membership is 3. Riverton, maximum allowed is 25 members. Total requesting membership was 0. East Shenandoah, maximum allowed 39 members. Total requested membership is 3. West Shenandoah, maximum allowed 17 members. Total requesting membership is 0. South River, maximum allocated is 27 members. Total requesting membership is 3. Bentonville, maximum allowed is 12 members. Total requesting membership is 3. Browntown, maximum allowed is 9 members. Total requesting membership is 1. So the total requesting membership was 25. Our total annual due collected is $500. So I move that the following individuals reported and certified to be elected as members of the Warren County Republican Committee.
A motion's been made by the Nominations Committee Chair. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we got one more report.
One more report. This is for the Warren County Republican Committee Chairman. The Nominations Committee, having met, certifies the following. Mr. Chairman, only one candidate properly filled to be Chairman of the Warren County Republican Committee. That one candidate is John Smith. I move by unanimous consent that John Smith, who happens to be elected as the Warren County Republican Committee Chairman.
Nominations Committee has made a report and a motion. All those in favor of having John Smith as our next chairman signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Hopefully my copy's still up here somewhere. And at this time, we're going to ask John Smith, our new chairman, to come and address his new committee. Thank you, John.
You know what? I'll never drink another drop of whiskey again. I was sitting there minding my own business, and it was on a Friday, and 2 people called me up. And one of them's name was Matt Teaswick and Steve Kurtz over here. And they said, John, what do you think about being the chairman for the Warren County GOP? I was like, okay. And I said, what did I just say? They talked a little bit more and this and that, and I hung up, and I was like, I called Steve the next day. I said, what are y'all trying to get me into here? You know? So, it's going to be a pleasure to be the chairman and serve this beautiful county that we have here. We have our ups and downs and this and that, but I love our state, I love our county, and I've been here, I guess now 16 years, and it's been, Don Muttersbaugh brought me to the committee 16 years ago, and we were meeting at the school. What's that school? That was over on the one over there by the BB&T. Not familiar with it.
Wilson Morrison?
Yes, you were there. okay, I would like to give honor to God, because without Him, none of this is possible.
Amen.
You know? I mean, and thank you, Steve, for your kind words, your friendship, and your trust, encouraging me to seek this office. I remember the first time I saw you. You came in there, man, with your little logo shirt on.
It was right here.
You were sitting back there, and I looked over at you, and I shook your hand, and it was like yesterday.
It was, man.
You know?
12 years ago.
Oh yeah. And I remember it though. Before I say a few words, I would like to pause and recognize Steve Kurtz. You have done a magnificent job leading our committee.
Yeah.
You have. The hours you have volunteered for this committee are countless, and I want you to know we all have seen it, and we all want to thank you for a job well done. While my friends and family have questioned my sanity in seeking to lead our Warren County Republican Committee and the current political craziness, and gutter tactics and election is too important to our nation's future for me to sit on the sidelines. You may be asking yourself why I took this job. Simple. After what I have witnessed in Richmond this year and what I have witnessed from the socialists in Washington, D.C., I feel that I have to do more and to preserve our rights, liberties, and freedoms. I hate identity politics, but given the difficult history of race in our community, I think it is necessary to recognize the elephant in the room. It has been brought to my attention that I am the first black chairman of this committee. It is true, I am an American of African descendants. I hate being called an African American, because we're all Americans. And while I may be the first black chairman to not forget that this is the party of Lincoln and the Warren County Republican Committee, under the leadership of its modern founders, Joe Swigger, I think I said his name right. Swagger. Okay, all right. And the former mayor, Bob Traster, and many others fought against segregation and Jim Crow. The forefathers of our committee were life members of the NCAACP, fighting against the local Democrat machines, some whom wore sheets or over their heads. This committee has led the way on radical reconciliation and civil rights, and with your support, we will continue to lead the way in 2020 and beyond. Now that I've gotten that fact that I'm black out of the way, let me tell you another fact. Let me tell you another fact. As your chairman, I'm proudly support Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
You know, when I first saw him running, I thought he was a nut job, but that man, I mean, he says what he says, and he backs up what he says.
Yeah. Amen.
And he doesn't waver.
No, he doesn't.
Amen.
We all must work tirelessly to keep not only President Trump get reelected, but from top to the bottom, we must put our work in to help entire Republican ticket. I am confident that with our help, our support, our labor, we will win it on town council, mayor, Congressman Ben Klein, and the senator candidate, and also the biggest one of all, which is the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. We are a movement, and a movement is only as strong as its membership. I need each of you to knock doors with me, make phone calls with me, and recruit your neighbors with me. Friends, our country is at stake. Commonwealth is at stake. Our freedom is at stake. And yes, friends, even our guns are at stake. Join me today. Fulfill the promise of Warren County the Republican Committee, and let's win one more for the giver. This ain't on my script, but I promise that I'll try my best to
I'm going to help you.
And I got plenty of help.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Congratulations. Like I said, I'm going to help you with whatever you need. I'm not falling off the face of the earth. My heart and soul is in Warren County, Republican Committee, and whatever you need, of course, I'll be there for you. Okay, we have one more. Did anybody not get to speak that was on the list? No, Laura, you're not running. At this moment, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. And we will see you at the next meeting on November 10th. Not this month?
We don't meet again this month.
It'll be in April. All right.